What's up, Yeousch Sports? This is Robbie from Two Brothers Gaming. You can check us out at xrobbieH14x for more great NBA Jam on Fire Edition, NBA Talk, as well as some NBA 2K and other gaming videos. Now that we have that out of the way, Kevin Durant is flying through the air, jamming on folks. I'm hoping to see that in this exciting NBA Finals matchup. I think that finally, these two teams have arrived, and they might be matching up for years to come. Now, that's going to be real exciting and everything. I am a very much admitted Thunder fan. People hit me up on Twitter all the time about that. You know, Two Bros Gaming on Twitter there as well. Got those shameless plugs out of the way early, but it did relate to what I was talking about. I'm going to be talking to you about this upcoming finals matchup. The Thunder are really the team that I want to win. I'm not even going to sit here and lie. That's why I'm playing with them in this little broadcast we got going on. Of course, I'm going to be taking the victory with the Thunder here. Not to spoil anything, but usually, if you don't suck, then you're probably going to do pretty well against, you know, the team on Rookie and the Bronze Challenge and on Fire Edition. So, I am really hoping that the Thunder pull this finals out, but I don't know what's going to happen. You never know. The Thunder have looked pretty much like that team that's just unbeatable no matter what obstacles are laid in front of them. They are going to be the one that comes away with it all. However, the Heat did not look like that team in their first few matchups of the playoffs, I would say. Getting in trouble to the Pacers kind of said it all. You know, that, hey, they weren't quite where they needed to be. Chris Bosh got injured with his lower abdominal strain, but as soon as he came back, man, I mean to tell you, that Heat team looked different. They looked more relaxed. They looked like they were playing with their heads. However, as you guys have known from watching me on Two Brothers Gaming's channel, we have been well documented, Bill and I, to be LeBron James not supporters, we'll call it. And that play right there, I wanted to point out real quick, was weird because I just barely didn't get the shot off. I completed the dunk, but the points didn't count. So I made up for it real quick. Now, as I was saying, we are not really LeBron James supporters. I think mentally he is not where he needs to be, and have thought that for a while. However, we actually, Bill and I had been talking, and especially myself, LeBron James needs to play with that fire. I didn't think, until recently, I didn't think that he had it mentally. His whole entire 9-year career, I didn't think that his mind state was of a killer, of that killer instinct, that instinct that you see in the Dwayne Wades, in the Kobe Bryants, and you know, in the Michael Jordans of the era where, you know, you just want to cut the other guy's heart out. When the fourth quarter comes, it's your time to shine. Give me the ball and get out of the way. Take over the game. They needed a closer in the worst way. And if Dwayne Wade had an off game, the Heat were pretty much, well, screwed. And now, you know what? LeBron James, you earned your stripes by that conference finals matchup, finally vanquishing the Boston Celtics, who stuck around longer than I thought as well. With the Bulls losing out early due to the injury with Derrick Rose, that sort of changed the face of this whole thing. Honestly, I didn't even think the Heat were going to make the finals. But, hey, as much as I hate being wrong, I've got to say, LeBron James, I was wrong this year. You have made it to the finals. However, it's either winning or misery, as Pat Riley on the Heat puts it. And that is a tough order. He is very scrutinized, including by us. I say, you know what? You counted these 5 or 6, 7 championships you were going to win. Let's see you do it. Back up your talk. So we're going to see if LeBron can do that. Now, a couple little interesting tidbits, a few quotes from teams and stuff like that. I wanted to throw those in here because you guys said in the last video that I put up, which was my first video for Yeousch Sports, that you liked me talking about the NBA, so that's what I'm going to do. A couple interesting things to think about coming into this. I mentioned LeBron James' mental state. Part of his new routine is he reads before games now. Apparently that puts him in a good place, relaxes him. Hey, whatever you got to do to change that routine up, I'm a fan for. You know, I don't think I'll ever like LeBron James or be on that bandwagon, but I am a fan of seeing people turn things around, and I would not, you know, I don't think anybody would really like to be in those shoes where you're most scrutinized, and, you know, he brought a lot of it on himself, which is why I personally don't like him. Some of the things just don't agree with my philosophies on basketball. However, as I said, he's trying to change things around. I honestly do believe he's giving a good effort this year. He's playing like a beast. And if he can vanquish that fourth quarter jinx that he had on him, you know, that's going to be sweet. However, I believe the X factor for the Heat to win would be Chris Bosh. Easy. You know, he's got to play tough. He's got to play that good Chris Bosh basketball that he did last year. He was very underrated, under the radar. as usual, he gets viewed as the third option on that team, and that's not always the case. Guess who hit 3 threes to help put the Celtics away in Game 7? Now that was pretty sweet and everything, but what they're going to need from him is that toughness on the front line. No offense to the Heat centers, but you know what? They're not top tier. They're not going to be able to play a good game against Kendrick Perkins. He's going to neutralize whoever's under there because he's a great defender and rebounder. So you're going to have that presence there. They have to play strong on the front line, and Bosch and Haslam have to be up to their games. Otherwise, the Heat are going to have a huge disadvantage there. As well, they've also had discussions about bringing Bosch off the bench because he's done so well in that role and given them the punch that they lacked. That's one of the big advantages that the Thunder have in having the 6th man of the year, the beard man himself, James Harden. You got to fear the beard. That is going to be the big deal for the Thunder. They have depth over the Heat, so I think that's going to be a big deciding factor in the series. Everybody wants to talk about the 2 superstars. It's a superstars league. I agree with that, but you know what? I believe that the Heat have 2 superstars, the Thunder have 2 superstars, and Westbrook and Durant, and then you got Wade and James as well. Bosch could be one, and honestly, Harden could step up at some point in his career if he gave more chances. He is a definite team player for that. So I think everything sort of cancels itself out. You got to talk about defense if you're going to be talking about the playoffs, and whoever plays the best defense in this series is going to be the one that wins the championship. It sounds stupid, it sounds obvious, but people always want to talk about, LeBron James is going to outscore Kevin Durant this game, and, Durant got 40, but you know what? None of that matters if you don't play good team defense and shut down the people that are supposed to be scoring those points. So, that being said, I wanted to leave you guys with a few quotes here as we head into the 4th quarter. At the end, I'm taking out the Heat. Got a couple nice upper deck dunks. I love this game. It's a lot of fun to play. So, Kevin Durant wanted to talk about the fact that he worked out with LeBron James in the offseason in Akron, Ohio. LeBron James invited him out there for what they called Hell Week, where they pushed each other through a bunch of drills and a bunch of awesome stuff there. Kevin Durant says, he invited me to come out there. Having a chance to work out with one of the top players is something you've got to take advantage of. Couldn't agree with that more. Now, Dwayne Wade's talking about his struggles during the postseason. It's been ups and downs. I had it last year as well. I had a tough Chicago series. I had ups and downs. That's the nature of the series and of the game. Now, I'm not going to be defined by how many points I put on the board. See, now that's what I'm talking about. The all-around game is something that Wade and James both can do very well. So you got to have that killer instinct. There's got to be a balance there. Now, Dwayne is talking about the matchup between LeBron and Kevin Durant. I think it's going to be a great matchup. I look forward to seeing that my teammate has going against one of the best players. I'm glad he has that challenge. It's going to make him focus more. I think it's going to bring out the best in both of them. I think it's going to be great for the game. And that's the one right there. This whole series is going to help as I shatter the backboard. That's never going to happen in real life. This whole series is going to be good for the game. This is a matchup that, honestly, I think the NBA wanted. I don't think any foul play was in hand there, but we're going to see about this finals. Guys, get at me in the comments.